the big issue, as we know, is when I push the gas pedal, it doesn't go at all. So let me go ahead and just show what's happening. You hear it click, but it doesn't actually go. Hey, it's Jason. So I'm here with the 1981 Comuta-car. This is the electric vehicle from 1981. And a guy I met online that lives down in the Rockville area of Maryland drove up today, and he's helping me. And we're diagnosing why it won't accelerate. And what we're seeing is some of the fuses back here do not appear to be in the best shape. You have this panel, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, actually 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total fuses. And what I've elected to do, and we think, we're just going to replace all 6 fuses to see if that helps with the acceleration issue. Maybe not, because these appear just to go to the horn, the radio. One does go to the controller. It doesn't appear any of them go to anything significant. But that's going to be one of the steps that we try as we continue to diagnose this 1981 Comuta-car. So follow along today as we do it, and hopefully by the end of this video, we might get lucky and it might be accelerating and we might be running. So it starts with 1 and then goes over 1 through 8.
Yep.
Because now we're hearing that.
I'm touching the brake. Both sound hurt.
That just like the...
That's how it tells if brakes enabled or not. So sense a little, what you call it?
So this is the brake switch that...
Yep. You can get that's still in production. That's still
okay, so fairly easy to get a spare for that then.
Yeah, and I took a picture of which wires are where, so
okay.
We need a replacement. We can discuss getting that connected back up. Alright, so I won't be do that. 51 volts. Actually, can you press the accelerator and see what happens? Hit off. So please clear of it. Turn the key off for me, please. And back on.
I just put it in neutral.
Why is it? That's the charger. Why is it going straight into the? Oh, okay, I see. That's not powered up, right? You haven't got that hooked up to anything right now?
That will charge the batteries. Yeah.
There's no power to the right
No. Yeah. Yeah. They said if there's power, if it's plugged into the outlet, nothing would work.
Yeah. It's possible those are going to things that's not in this car, like a loomed that came down here and doesn't actually do anything because there's no functionality.
And I think that this one, because they replaced this like 2 or 3 years ago. I'm thinking maybe it didn't have as much of other stuff that may have been hooked to it or something. I was wondering about all this though. I guess I could have traced back where it went to.
I can't figure out there shouldn't be no power going to this, but that switch off, there is.
Could it hold power for?
It should diminish. If it's a reservoir, it should bleed.
Alright, yep, I got it. No, it's this one right here. It looks like it's going all the way right here.
Yeah, I'm also where it's ending up on this end. It's looking into something that seems to the fan. I think it's probably powering the intake fan, I guess. Because it's going.
Yeah, you can see it come up over here. Yeah, it could just literally be the fan.
Yeah, these
because that white line comes all the way up over here.
These vents pull in through the tubing. And go straight into the engine, or I guess
for the engine. Cooling or something.
Yeah, so best guess is a fan. One thing here. So, and the connection is through that battery control. That's motor control.
You said the diode seems fine?
There's 3 diodes. There's one here, there's one across the terminals, there's one on the side of the device that flips the power, and all 3 of them test out as power passing through them.
So that means they're okay then?
No problem.
Now this might be a silly question, but is there a way just to, because presumably the controller is telling the motor to do stuff, right?
It's a bit more direct than that, but yeah, it's actually controlling power flow. So it's not like
is there a way to make sure the motor's getting power from the controller?
Yeah, if it was, it should make some kind of sound.
Okay.
Some kind of sound. It really, can you turn the switch off, the ignition switch off? Any visibility to see what color the wire is to the main switch from your angle? under there or not?
To like the forward and reverse switch, or
No, to the power switch.
power switch. Let's see. So it's like 8 screws holding it in. But it won't come out any farther, you think, or is it just 2?
Try.
Give it a go. Oh, I was gonna say I saw a light, but you were illuminating it. Is that? Can you see anything? There is a wire disconnected back here. It's hard to see where it's coming from. No. There's a few disconnected. There's a green one back here.
That's enough. That's not ideal, but that's enough access. There's a lot of wires right there.
There's a whole lot of wires.
Okay, so there's, let me look at that so I think you can see more.
So it looks like there are some friendly visitors. The mice. They chewed the yellow wire. That yellow wire they ate.
Touching the end and middle is fine. The problem is when they chew it and they destroy the insulation between the wires, but they've only chewed the outside of both, so it's actually not. Shouldn't be.
Now what is that? What does this go to? Do we know?
I don't know. Just hold it away from the middle for a minute. Hold it away from the middle for a minute.
Hold on.
Hold the yellow away from the middle, so it's not touching the. So both wire isn't touching. Which is it? It's this. No, I'm not using this. It's that one. Nope, that's not. I'll look at this way around. Which of these keys?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
It's not making that click like we had before. Is it because of the brake or something? So we spent about, I guess, 3 hours working on the 1981 Comuta-car today, and we made progress, but it's not running quite yet. And we did a whole lot to this car in terms of testing. And like anything, you have to do a lot of testing in order to try to figure out what's going on. And what's happening is we're not getting power across 2 points consistently on the controller. You know, just to kind of looking at my notes here, but basically you hit the acceleration, you're not getting any voltage from the controller to the motor. You get one click on the micro switch, it disengages when the accelerator is pressed, and when the first solenoid, not the directional solenoid. We're getting full scale for the pot at 4K, and we were talking with another person doing a bunch of testing. And what's happening is we're also at 25.5 volts for the battery pack up front and the battery pack in the back. The main breaker is showing 52.2 volts on both ends, but we're only getting 37 volts at the controller, so we're getting a lot of fluctuation. So it looked like, when you looked at the main breaker, it looked like the negative was loose. So we disconnected the negative wire at the main breaker, we put it back in, we tightened it up. However, in doing so, it doesn't seem to be solving the issue. When you have the ignition on, after doing that, you press the accelerator down, various main points, you're pressing the accelerator down, you're getting 51 volts with no fluctuation. But on the controller with B plus and B minus, it's fluctuating widely, and I'll show you what I mean there. It looked like it wasn't fully seated, that negative terminal, and we removed it. So we believe we have an issue going on with the controller. So let's go ahead and take a look in here and let me show you what we did. So we noticed the negative terminal here seemed loose, which we thought was causing the voltage fluctuation. But basically this is on. All those readings that we got were what we said. But when you go to the controller over here, it's going from 37 volts and jumping around sporadically. So we think we have an issue with the controller. But before I do that, I'm going to replace both of these wires from the main breaker that go over to the controller area and see if those wires are causing an issue. Because here we have exactly the voltage that we would expect. We also noted, though, and this is going to be repaired, that the mice chewed this quite a bit. So we're going to replace this wire. I'm going to put some Grandpa Gus in there. The mice got in this when it was in Ohio before I purchased it. And, of course, we're going to replace that brake switch in there because the switch is causing, it is not engaging the way when you pull the brake light's not coming up. And then every fuse under here we replaced. So we did a lot of troubleshooting, a lot of testing. I know on this video I'm a bit sporadic in terms of what I'm saying because I'm doing my best to talk about what Morrison told me as we were going. But this was a big day for the 1981 Comuta-car. We did not get it running, but I think we've narrowed it down to the wiring from the main breaker to the controller. And if it's not that, I do believe it is a bad controller, which we'll we'll replace. We'll upgrade it with a new one, and then on top of that, the brake switch will be replaced, and that wiring that was chewed will be replaced as well. So that's the progress we made today on the 1981 Comuta-car. It is June 12th. My goal is to have this running by September 1. So that gives us the rest of June, all of July, and all of August. Again, this is Jason. Be sure to check out the blog at jams.net. And if you live in Maryland, Virginia, or DC and have a Tesla or need any basic electrical work done on your car, be sure to contact Morrison. He's more than happy to chip in and give you a hand at a really nice rate, much like he did with me today, because he has a lot more experience with the electrical components. Talk to you soon, and have a great day.